Okay, so good day to everyone. So I would like to discuss to you our topic in climate change, that is the factors affecting climate. So ano ba yung nakakaapekto doon sa climate natin? So number one na nakakaapekto is what we call on the latitude. So the position of the latitude is horizontal. Okay? So horizontal yung kanyang positions. We're in from the equator up to the North Pole, and then from equator up to the South Pole. We're in kung ano yung horizontal line na nandito, so that is so-called a latitude. So it affect mismo doon sa climate natin. So paano siya nakakaapekto? Mamaya madidiscuss natin. So in a vertical line from north to the south, it means this is so-called longitude. Okay? This is a longitude, and then yung vertical, yung horizontal, that is vertical line. And then kapag horizontal naman, that is latitude. Okay? So the latitude affects the climate of our Earth. So it is measured in degrees of the distance of a location from the equator. So which divided the Earth into northern and southern hemisphere. So the equator divide it the Earth. So the northern and the southern hemisphere. So this is the northern hemisphere and this is the southern hemisphere. So sabi dito, ito dapat ninyong tandaan, as a latitude increases, so it means this is the numerical or quantitative numbers per latitude. Okay? So as the latitude increases from 0 to 90, the temperature also decreases. So it means pag mas malayo ka sa equator, mas bababa yung mismong temperatura. Okay? Ganon din, the same with the southern hemisphere, wherein as the latitude increases, the temperature also decreases. Okay? So kapag palayo ng palayo tayo sa equator, mas bumababa yung mismong temperatura ng ating or temperatura ng ating elevations ng Earth natin. Okay? Okay, next na nakakaapekto sa climate is the winds and ocean currents. Okay? So, warm and cold or cold winds blowing around the world also influence the climate. So, kung saan yung direction ng hangin, nagkakaroon din ng effect doon sa climate. Example sana ay nag-iba yung changes or yung positions or yung mismong direction ng hangin, doon mismo madidictate kung ano yung climate ng isang area. Example sana, this is a cold area. So it means dito malamig na area. Pero kapag ang hangin ay galing sa mainit, so yung dating malamig na area dito na nakakapag-produce ng mas malamig na temperatura, pwedeng makaapekto kung saan yung direksyon ng hangin. Example sana dito mainit. This is warm. So kung saan yung direksyon ng hangin, makakaapekto sa temperatura dito sa area na ito. Okay? Ganon din dito, kapag malamig yung binubuga dyan, syempre makakaapekto rin siya dito. Ganon. So vice versa. Okay? So the temperature of the winds depends where it has blown. So nakadepende ang temperatura ng hangin kung saan siya directed na nag-occur. Or kaya kung saan yung direction niya. So wind blowing from the tropic to the higher latitudes are warm. Okay, doon sa higher latitude daw ay nagkakaroon ng warm because they drag current of warm tropical water with them. Okay? So the ocean heats makes the wind warm too. So wind blowing from the poles are very cold. So yung mismong na hangin na nanggagaling sa pole ay mas malamig because they are chilled by the cold ocean beneath them. Okay, so kung saan mismo galing yung hangin na yon, yun yung nakakaapekto sa temperatura kung saan siya magfo-fall. Example, sana dito ay yung North Pole. And then, eto, ang expected na temperature dito is warm. Pero dahil sa direction ng hangin, pumupunta dito, mas nagiging cold siya. Pero kapag babalik rin natin, dito naman mainit or very warm at pag ganyan yung temperatura, so magiging warm ito. So nakadepende kung saang location or kung saan nanggaling yung hangin na yon. So the direction of air affects the temperature of that particular area. Okay? Next, in this figure shows that the main ocean currents, so the wind is caused by difference in pressure. So magkakaiba yung pressure niya resulting from differential heating of the Earth's surface. So as the air molecules are heated, they are moved more rapidly. So kapag ang air molecules daw ay mas mainit, mas mabilis yung kanyang movement. Okay? Decreasing the density of an air mass and it rises. So yung warm air naman is also able to hold more water vapor. So kapag mainit or warmer yung air, mas mataas yung water vapor. Kapag sinabi nating water vapor, mas mabilis yung evaporation or transpirations nung area na yon kesa naman sa malamig na area. So mas madaming na idadala yung humidity na tubig or ng water vapor kapag mainit ang hangin. Pero kapag malamig ang hangin, it is moisture or kaya mas mababa ang tawag doon, ang evaporations. So kapag cold mababa ang evaporation, pero kapag warmer mataas ang evaporations. So areas of a warm rising air have a low pressure. Okay? Winds result from the earth trying to equalize pressure from areas of a high pressure to those with a low pressure across a pressure gradient. Okay? So, another one na nakakaapekto sa climate is so-called the elevation. What do you mean by elevation? That is the distance above the sea level wherein kung saan ka galing or kung saan yung location mo at kung gaano ka kalayo doon sa ocean, that is so-called an elevation. So the higher the elevation, the lower the temperature. So this is measured in meters or feet. So as elevation increases, habang ikaw ay pataas ng pataas, yung mismong temperature ay mababa. So kapag ang elevations mo ay mataas, mababa ang temperature. Pero kapag ang elevation mo ay mababa, mataas ang temperatura. Gaya dito sa Isabela. Malapit kasi tayo sa elevations ng sea. Okay? So it means mas closer tayo sa elevations ng sea. Kaya kapag mas closer tayo, mas mainit ang panahon. Okay? Tayo kasi yung mismong example, ito sana yung sunlight, sa atin mismo magba-bounce back yung heat. Tayo ang unang makakapag-absorb ng heat. So kapag pataas na yung heat, yung temperature ay palamig ng palamig. Bakit? Kasi nga nai-strain na mismo yung heat doon pa lang sa elevation or sa level ng elevation. So habang nagmo-move forward yung elevation, pababa ng pababa yung temperature. Okay? So it decreases at the environmental lapse rate of 100 meter. So kada 100 meter, marereduce mismo yung temperature. So in every 1 kilometer, marereduce ang temperature. So solar radiation only turns into heat when it is absorbed by a body of matter. So lower down in the atmosphere, the air is denser and contains more water vapor. So air molecules, dust, and the others. So therefore, more energy can be absorbed and turned into heat, long-wave radiation at a lower elevation. So mas mataas yung energy or more energy or mas mataas yung long-wave radiation sa mga mabababa na area dito. So heat from the surface of the earth moves up through the long wave radiation and convection currents called sensible heat flux. So nagkakaroon din ng sensible heat flux if you are in the lower elevations of an area. Okay? From the distance from the sea affect the climate at a place. So especially kapag mga coastal areas, mas cooler and wetter than the inland area. So kapag mas malapit ka sa coastal areas, tignan nyo ha, mas cooler siya and mas wetter than the inland areas. So cloud form when warm air from inland areas meets cool air from the sea. So yung clouds daw nagfo-form kapag mainit yung hangin na galing sa inland or kaya dito sa mainland natin na sumasalubong doon sa malamig na air na galing sa sea. Okay? So nagkakaroon ng formations ng clouds pag ganito yung nagiging scenario. Okay? So water bodies provide a source of moisture for the land masses of the world. So water bodies also have moderating effects on the climate of land masses near them. Okay? So water can heat up to some depth because of penetration light and circulation within the water body. So because of its land, because of this, land can heat up or cool down much quicker than water. So mas mabilis ang pag-cool down ng lupa kaysa doon sa tubig. So thus water has a moderating effect on the land around it. Okay? Another one na nakakapag-affect doon sa climate natin is the topography. If we say topography, that is the study of the Earth's surface, features, and the shape. So if we are referring to the features and shape, that is so-called topography. So topography also includes the description of how Earth's surface features are depicted on maps. So as you can see, this is so-called topography. Kung ano yung level or regardless of the level, that is so-called topography. Whatever the surface or whatever yung nakikita mo sa taas, kapag ikaw ay nag-eroplano, whatever na nakikita mong position nung nandoon sa baba, that is so-called topography. Whatever the surface of the earth, that is so-called topography. Okay? Topography examine the vegetative and man-made feature of local areas, particularly their terrain. So the effect of topography on the climate of any region or given region are very powerful. So mountains receive more rainfall. So kapag mountainous area, dahil dito mismo yung mga clouds, yan, or mas present yung mga clouds doon sa mga mountainous, mas higher yung mismong nare-receive na rainfall. Okay? So as air is forced over the higher ground, so it is cools, causing moist air to condense and fall as rain. So the higher the place is above sea level, the colder it will be. Okay? So this happened because as altitude increases, pag mataas yung kanyang altitude, yung air niya becomes thinner or mas malamig. And it is less able to absorb. So kapag mas malamig ang hangin, mababa yung absorption capacity ng malamig na hangin. Kailangan mainit ang hangin para may transpiration and evaporation. And retain heat. So, in the figure 3 shows that how topography affect climate. So, as you can see, tandaan nyo ha, kapag mountainous area, mas mataas yung rainfall niya. Kasi mababa yung clouds. Kaya nasasangga dito sa parte na ito, hindi na siya lagpas sa may mountainous areas because of the higher topography or elevations ng mismong mountains. Okay? So meron tayong mga different climate type dito sa Pilipinas. So the Philippines is located on the far end of northwestern Pacific Ocean. So we are located in the northwestern Pacific Ocean, and it is made up of more than 7,700 or 7,107 islands. So, and we have also the main island, the biggest, called the Visayas, Luzon, and Mindanao. So the Philippines is oriented from north to south. Yeah, north to south, and it has two main seasons. So meron lang dalawang season ang Pilipinas. We have the wet and the dry season. Okay? So meron tayong mga climate type according to Corona's classification. So the country belongs to the tropical marine types of a climate, being surrounded by the surrounded by the warm ocean water within the tropical region of the Earth. So the tropical marine climate of the Philippines is divided into 4 climate types. We have the also known as a modified Coronas classification. So yung type 1 that is a red in color, and then ang type 2 naman that is a blue in color, type 3 is that is a yellow color, and then type 4 naman that is a green color. So if we say type 2, this is pronouncing 2 season. Wet from June to September, and then dry season during the rest of the year. So ang pinaka-wet niya lang ay June, July, August, September. So 4 months lang. So saan located mismo yung type 1? Located siya sa part ng Ilocos. Yan. Ilocos and somewhere in Palawan. So, mga coastal towns. Okay? And then, kapag naman blue, somewhere in coastal towns din, malapit or kaya near from the Sierra Madres or Sierra Madre Mountains, that is type 2. Wet season with pronounced rainfall from December to February. Especially sa Isabela, like the Bilacan, Palanan, Makunakon, they are type or climate type 2. Okay? And then ang type 3 naman, that is a short dry season from December to February. So ang dry season natin is December to February. So malamig na panahon yan. Okay? And then saan ang type 3? Yung yellow, Cordillera and also Isabela. Okay? And then ang type 4 naman, rainfall is evenly distributed throughout the year. That is type 4. So saan yung type 4 dito? That is green. Here is the type 4. Okay? But topography plays an important role in rainfall distributions on an areas under different climate types. So over northern Luzon, areas belonging to climate 3 are located in central plain of Cagayan Valley. So ang Cagayan Valley, Isabela, Cagayan, Batanes, yan, sila ay type 3. Okay, Nueva Vizcaya, they are considered as type 3. While areas facing the south, South China Sea belonging to climate type 1. So lahat ng mga ito, they are facing in South China Sea, belong to climate type 1, including Cordillera Mountains. Climate 2 naman, areas face the Philippine Sea, east of Sierra Madre. Ito, yung blue. So, ito ay Sierra Madre Mountains. Okay? So, ano yung mga hydrometeorological hazard na nakakaapekto or pwede tayong magkaroon ng accident or unexpected na death? So, number 1 na nakakaapekto or the hydrometeorological hazard are the rainfall that resulting of water vapor considering the precipitation, forming a droplets that fall from the clouds due to gravity. So rainfall distribution throughout the country varies from one region to another. So depending upon the direction of the moisture-bearing winds and the location of the mountain system. So yung amount mismo na tubig na nagfo-fall sa mismong ground, they are so-called rainfall through water vapor. Kaya nagkakaroon ng rainfall because of the water vapor and through precipitation process. Okay? Wala naman sigurong precipitation na tumataas. Ano? So it means bumabagsak mismo sa lupa. So kapag tumataas, evaporation yon or transpiration. Another one na nakakaapekto is the thunderstorm. They are very violent vertical movement of air. So the sudden tremendous heat from lightning because of the compression or shock waves. So it means yung rumbling sound. That is thunderstorm. Okay? Rumbling sound. Okay? Nakakapag-create ng thunderstorm because of the cumulus clouds or cumulonimbus clouds. Have both updrafts and downdrafts. Okay? Another one is lightning. So nagpo-produce siya ng light or electricity accompanied by thunderstorm. And it is dangerous and can kill and destroy anything. That is lightning. So the difference between lightning and thunderstorm, light faster travel than the sound. So ito yung unang nag-a-appear sa langit or something sa atmosphere. Wherein it creates light that is faster. Wherein, kapag ito natamaan ka, pwede mong ikamatay. So, fast expansion of gases in the electrical charge. And then thunderstorms, it is a rumbling sound that is heard. So, kung ano yung naririnig mo, that is thunderstorm. Okay? Another one is hails. So kapag sinabi nating hails, ito yung solid precipitation na meron siyang inuhulog or kaya during precipitation, instead na liquid ang kanyang naibabagsak, they are solid. Okay? Ang tawag doon is hails or rain produced by intense thunderstorm. And it is possible to form within the most thunderstorm clouds like cumulonimbus clouds. So nafo-form ang hails or yung mga ice crystals na hindi pa na-convert into liquid through cumulonimbus clouds. Okay? Next one is tornadoes. So tornadoes are the most violent storms. So sa atin siguro hindi gaano nangyayari ang tornadoes, but in America, yan, sa North Carolina and sa US, mostly tornadoes ang pinaka event nila doon or something hazard. So para siyang bagyo pero konti lang na oras yung kanyang pag-ikot doon sa area na yon, pwedeng masira yung buong area or buong community. So they are most likely violent storm and they are whirlpools of air causing such violence that houses in their path that may fly apart like matchsticks and railroads. Okay, so pwede niyang sirain yung mga railroads, mga bahay, mga farms. Okay. Next one is storm surge. Nangyayari lang ang storm surge if they have or if there is a storm or something bagyo or typhoon. So nagkakaroon ng abnormal rising of seawater generated by the storm as a result of atmospheric changes and wind associated with storms. So it is a coastal flood. So nangyayari lang ang storm surge kapag malapit ka sa dagat. So wala namang storm surge sa mga mainland, especially sa Isabela, walang storm surge dito sa inland. Ang storm surge lang ng Isabela is Dinapigi, Palanan, and Bakunakon. Okay? Next, landslide. So napaka-prone ng landslide ang mga mountainous areas that are often triggered by rainfalls. So which is characterized by very intense long-duration rainy seasons. So rainfall-induced landslide that are usually shallow slips, and though the volume of slip is mass is not very large, damage to property and infrastructure can quietly serious. So ang landslide nangyayari lang if there is a deforestation or something wala ng puno. Okay, kapag nagkaroon ng soften doon sa soil, expected na magkakaroon ng landslide, especially kapag mas malakas ang ulan. Next, flood. So nangyayari ang flooding sa mga cities, sa mga urban and rural areas. So it is a natural event occurrence with a piece of land that is usually dry land, sudden gets submerged underwater. So kapag ikaw na submerged ng tubig, especially sa mga bahay natin, sa mga rural areas or kaya sa mga urban areas, that is so-called flooding. So some flood can occur suddenly and recede quickly. Okay? So if you have any questions regarding the hydrometeorological hazard and other topics, other topics about our discussions today, pwede kayong magtanong. Okay? So kung may mga tanong kayo, pwede kayong magtanong. Thank you very much guys and God bless.